Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move forward now with a totally interactive session. So as you're hearing the introductory comments from our super affiliates, please think about what question that you'd like to ask. And please give a huge round of applause to Wojtek from Chicago, Rob from, I can't remember where he's from, and Enz from Turkey. Rob said to me, I bet you can't keep the Leeds jokes going all day. And I said, well, we'll see. Wojtek, what I'm going to ask you, Wojtek, first is, can you talk about, introduce yourselves a bit and why you're on the stage now? What can you say that will help people here? And we'll do that for all three. And then think, while you're listening to that, think about what questions you'd like to ask. Please, thank you. Wojtek.
All right. Nice to meet you guys.
Use the microphone.
Sorry. So pretty much I started this about a year ago. It's my 1 year anniversary, so I'm fairly new to the game. My mindset presently is I don't consider myself a super affiliate. I'll never consider myself a super affiliate. Because if you consider yourself a super affiliate, you think you reached the top. And I think there's so much more to go. I don't stop. Everything I make, I reinvest. The idea, mindset is big picture. Short term, nice to make a buck. Big picture, let's retire a little bit earlier. I've done a lot of different techniques. I've done white hat, black hat. I'm not scared to say it. There's things that work, that don't work. I've had my ups, I have my downs, and I'm looking for a bright future. There's been a little rough patches here and there, but I think if you keep at it and you work hard, you'll find what you're looking for.
So Wojtek, what's been the biggest mistake you've ever made, and how did you recover?
I don't know if it's the biggest mistake I've ever made, but Google found a mistake I made, and they decided to knock me out of the rankings. And pretty much, that's the game you play. That's the beast you have to fight. So we'll go for day to day. We'll see what happens.
And how did you get over it?
Right now, I'm tinkering with some ideas. Haven't got over the site I presently work with Mornish. I've regained a few of my sales, not to the status I was. I do outbranch in other niches as well, kind of keep myself fluid and kind of variety. So if one site does go down, I don't necessarily totally fall apart. But I definitely work on a site, but always work for something new, look for new ideas.
Okay, thank you. Rob.
So I'm Rob, and I've been on online marketing for about 7 years. And I don't make a lot of money, but the money I make very easily. So I can answer any questions what you've got about what's it like further down the line if you've been doing it for a few years. And, is it sustainable and what kind of things you come up against. I do mainly SEO work, and I've got a large network of sites that I maintain.
So Rob, I understand you write articles for newspapers like The Guardian.
No, I don't write those.
Is that a ghostwriter who does that?
I just get interviewed, and they ask me questions.
What do you get interviewed about most, Rob?
Just about my career and how long I've been doing it, and just generally what I do.
Okay. Enz?
All right. I'm Enes from Turkey.
Enes.
I've been doing affiliate marketing for a year. I'm just starter, not a super affiliate. And I was at university. I started it to make money because I wanted to be in England for my PhD or my master's degree. I needed money, so I decided to do something. I tried several ways, for offline things. I worked somewhere, and it was taking too much time to work somewhere and work for real classes. So I decided to do something online. So I randomly searched on the internet. I found Mornish. I read all the guides, and I learned quick, and I built my site and started to make small money. And by the time I started to make real good money, so I decided to be a full-time affiliate marketer, and I decided not to continue to school. Now, actually, I'm here for internship. I've been here for a month. I'm in the University of Cambridge, but I'm not working there much. I'm using their computer to check my sites, and I'm using their computers to surf online, read Mornish, write on forum. They don't like it, and actually I don't care, because when I'm back to Turkey, I'll work for my affiliate marketing. That's all. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, all of you. Right, can you turn into your table, please? And I'd like each table to come up with at least one question. So please, turn into your table and talk about what question you're going to ask. Please, thank you. Okay, has everyone got at least one question? Excellent. Oh, thank goodness for that. It means we can get through this session. Sorry, one or two other questions that were asked that were nothing to do with the events of the day, this particular session. One was, are the slides that have been used going to be available? They'll be available on the More Niche site from 5 p.m. today? No, not quite. Okay. Sorry. At some stage. And the other question is, can I say hi to all the smokers? Can you put your hands up if you're a smoker, please? Thank you. The question is, politely, can you smoke, as opposed to smoking at the front next to all the plants, can you smoke around the back next to the bins? Which are down there. Okay? Right, here we go. We've got, I've heard some of the discussions, so I think you're in for it. Now, I'm not going to come to all of you necessarily to answer each question. We'll make it very free-flowing. If I miss someone out and you really want to have a say, then that's great. So please, let's start with this one. This gentleman has an interesting question, and I'll be running around with this microphone.
Hello. Arthur Stoller, Websites UK. I've been doing some SEO work for quite a few years, and about 18 months ago, the word came out from the States that Google were tightening up on a couple of markets, one being weight loss, whether that was to do with diet, pills, or exercise, and Forex trading. Now, I'd like to know what your workaround for that is, because it seems to me at the moment that trying to get into such things as weight loss, particularly if you're going for organic rankings, right now is very tough. What would be your alternative strategies?
Thank you very much. And Enes, since I pronounced your name wrong the first time, you can go first.
Okay.
How do you beat Google?
You know, if you think about Google all the time, you lose, you know. You should think about your competitors. You know, everybody is doing the same thing, and they are doing the exact same thing with you to rank there. You know, what you're going to do is beat them, you know. You don't try to beat Google, and you build links, you know. I don't know any other strategy, actually. You know, just building links, spamming the Google, and it works.
Wojtek, you've had this specific issue. How did you get around it? Can you pass the microphone, please? Thank you.
I'm still dealing with the issue, but I've looked at a few things. They've tightened up, but not necessarily, because some of the competitors that are still in the top pages of Google are in the same category as I would have put myself. Really what it comes down to now is, used to be like, oh, how many root links I've had. You know, the bigger the number, the better, but at the end of the day, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So that would be respected sites, trusted sites. The real challenge now is, how do you get a link from a high-quality site? Where do you find them? What can you do? What kind of methods can you find? Because there's obviously blog posts, there's article marketing, but there's so many other ways. You know, there's the plugins you can work with. You can translate plugins to get a link to your site. I mean, there's a lot of various ideas out there, and now it's just trying to figure out what the next one is, or creating a new one that no one has discovered yet.
Thank you very much, Rob. I'll come to you with the first question next time. Can we ask you a question, since you're sort of an expert in the area of SEO? What do you mean by Google's tightening up? Can you just explain to us what that actually means in your experience?
Well, from what I read was the fact that so many people looking to make an income would pick one of these 3 or 4 top markets, weight loss, diet pills being one of them, Forex trading, foreign exchange trading was another. These are the most popular markets that people go into, and Google's were aware of that and tightened up and made it much more difficult for newcomers to come in the top 10, where, I mean, if you want the traffic as far as ranking is concerned, organic free ranking, that's the work you'd have to do as an SEO guy. So I was just kind of figuring out, maybe there's a way of buying lists or some other way of getting that traffic.
So they're starting from a point of view of suspicion rather than trust now? Yeah? Thank you very much indeed. So Rob, you're going to be the first one to answer this one. And I know you've been particularly looking forward to this table. You said go and have a chat with the table and get them to ask you a really nice question. So here it comes.
Hi Rob. Has anything you've worked in previously helped you with affiliate marketing? Any particular line of work?
Sorry, there's so many. That's an in-joke, isn't it, within a table and Rob? What have you done? Were you a stripper? Oh, sorry, you want the microphone, don't you? Sorry, it's your big moment, yeah.
Thank you for the question. Before this, I've never really had a proper job. I got into this when I was about 18, 19, and I finished college, and I trained to be a fitness instructor and a personal trainer. And I did a diet and nutrition course, so I learned a lot about weight loss and the fitness market. So, I mean, I guess that's made it easier writing about that subject, but apart from that, nothing really.
Is that the right answer? No. What is the right answer?
Next question.
Okay. In that case, yeah, we'll take the next question, please, from this table here. Thank you.
Hey guys, John from Fin375. Why do you choose the products that you choose to market?
So Wojtek, start with you, please. Thank you.
Initially, obviously, any new affiliate that starts looks at commission. You know, money speaks. But it's also a product quality. Do people buy it? Do they like it? Is it product? Is it only found on one website out of 1,000 websites? Is it on many websites? Are there not just review sites that are following up on this? Are there other resources, you know, news, media, those kind of things? And in a way, you still get a lot of feedback because you're still a website, so you do get, you know, the reviews. You get the upset customers, the happy customers, and you see which products are working and which ones aren't. And for the most part, and repeat customers as well. You know, in different markets, obviously, some people have repeat customers because that product is a product you can rebuy. Others, it's a product you buy once every 5-10 years. So with Mornish, I promote one of their products, Size Genetics in this case. Obviously there's 3 top competitors in that game. I've played around with the rankings. I've played around with, you know, conversions and everything like that, and they seem to outbeat all of them, as well as some of their competitors that are actually in a pill form. So it's pretty much an easy choice because once I put them up there, the conversions, everything changed.
Ennis, Rob, do you want to add anything? Yeah. You can answer the last question.
For me, the main thing is competition. If there's a lot of affiliates on it, then I generally won't touch it. So I'd recommend going for more niche, smaller products, and doing your proper keyword research and going for the products that way.
Are you going to take the arthritis product?
Well, I'm taking some time out at the moment, but maybe when I get back into it. Yeah.
Okay,
There's a lot of potential on that product, especially in a big PPC campaign if you're very familiar with it.
There is a huge potential in that product. Thank you. Who's going to ask the question here? Thank you.
Hi, I'm David. We just wondered how much time do you spend and how long did it take to get to the point where you only had to spend that much time?
Well, we'll come to Ennis first because Rob spends no time whatsoever doing anything, so and makes a fortune. So we'll come to Ennis first. Can you? I'm so sorry, we don't have more than one microphone. So how much time do you spend, and how do you get to the stage where you know that you're spending the right quantity and quality of time?
If you know what you are doing, you know, it doesn't take so much time. When I first started, I didn't know what to do, you know, how to build links. I didn't have a strategy. After you decide a strategy and have a plan, have a weekly plan or monthly plan, it doesn't take much. You know, I was going to school and coming home late, and I worked 2 hours a day, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 10 minutes. But usually I can say an hour a day, and it was enough, you know, because I was doing what I planned. You know, I've written all of the things I need to do. For example, I wrote, I'll put a new article today, I'll build 10 links, or I'll start my tool for link building. So I made them fast because I didn't have time. And as I say, if you have a strategy and if you know what you are doing, you don't have to spend too much time for one site, or if you are a starter. But if you have 10 sites, of course, you need to work like 6 hours a day to maintain them, because you need to add articles to them, build links for every site.
So what you're implying is that focus is very important. Focus on a particular... Yeah. With an hour of focus, you can do what you need to do, as opposed to...
One mistake I was doing first is to look at Facebook, check rankings, and talking to someone on MSN Messenger and Skyping with someone, then looking at Facebook again, write a paragraph, and it's the biggest mistake affiliate can do, you know. It's very time consuming. You are sitting on the computer like 4 hours and overall 1 hour work. So you need to close Facebook, Skype, MSN, you know, everything, and you just focus on what you're doing.
Can you pass it to Rob, please? Because joking aside, Rob, obviously you've had a lot of success in what you do. How do you stay focused?
Well, I guess for the first couple of years, I did work a lot. You know, I was working like 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week for the first couple of years. And then over time, I'm working kind of less and less, but I'm doing more of the right things. So now when I work, I only work like 5 or 10 hours a week, but what I do, you know, works. Because I've managed to work my way through and know exactly what works. And I just kind of just keep at it. I've got quite a good setup, and I can just take time off when I want. And I go through stages of working. So, like some weeks I'll work quite a bit, and then the next week I'll take it off, and it just fit it around my lifestyle really. But I'd say it'll take you probably a year before you've got a good setup, and then after that, that's when you can start to, you know, sit back a bit.
Okay, thanks very much. Question from here. Yep.
Well, we did think of one, and then you've sort of answered it. But the first thing we decided on asking was the products you're promoting now. Did you promote them from the beginning and just dive in and say, I'm going to work this till it works, or did you try lots of different niches till you found one? I know you said about the fitness one, but have you tried other niches to see if they work, and then landed on one that converted for you, or did you just go hell for leather in the first one you picked, sort of thing?
So that question combines quite a few points that have been made this morning around focus, around finding out and testing the market with regard to which one works, and then landing on one. What have you been doing in that area?
Actually, I initially started with, not traditionally in the sense that I started my own website. I actually obtained a website, an established website in the sense that the pages were all made. It had some kind of ranking in Google. So initially, what my training was, my real hard day-to-day work was how to increase the organic traffic. I do have now new sites that I work off of. I think every niche is a little different. Obviously, there's a few niches here that are very, I guess, as you said, Google tightened up on them very, I don't want to say spammy, but there's a lot of spammers out there that like to use these niches, be it, not even because of these products. It could be a Viagra or something like that, pharmaceuticals. But like the gentleman here said, I think after a while you figure out what works, what doesn't, and you start building on quality. And initially it took me a long time. I mean, there's two trains of thoughts here. You can do 20 websites and try to maintain those, or you can do 1 or 2 websites and spend days on days just trying to figure out conversions, what works, what doesn't work. This may work by itself, but you add this, and it doesn't work, but you add something else and take this out. So, I mean, your mindset, what your goal is, I try to keep myself sort of sorted within 1 or 2 websites. I don't like to be too spread out. And I don't know if this is true, I think to a certain degree, Google too is, if they're aware that you have 10 diet pill sites, you're not going to be as trusted, and they'll figure that out. Why do you need 10 sites to promote the same product or to review the thing? So, I think that's.
Can you pass it to Enes, please? And Enes, what's the first sign that you see when you found a niche that really works? What's the first? I mean, obviously volume of traffic, etc. But is there one thing or numbers on the list or income? What is the first thing that tells you might have found a niche that could be very successful?
Yeah, because I'm a starter, I first look at the competition. That's why I start with John's product, Fan 375. You know, it was increasing popularity, plus there was no competition at all. That's why I started. You know, of course the commissions and resources. Because if you want to promote a new niche, or if you are just starting, you need to have as much information as possible. So I looked at Fan 375's resources. I found hundreds of articles and resources. That's why I went with them. You know, by the time it became very popular, I get reorders, so I stick to them, you know. If I was not getting reorders or low conversion rate, I would choose another one. again and go with that.
Okay, thank you. If you pass the microphone to Rob, I'll just ask you to tell me the question. I'll repeat it. This table here.
Actually, we've got one question. Everybody wants to know how much they're earning.
How much are you earning? Roughly.
Do you want a smart answer? Not enough.
I'll give you an honest answer, if that's okay with you. Are you okay with that? Initial website I had was making $6,000 a month, with 50% of that coming out of the more niche market, because obviously I have various products on my site. By the time I picked it up in July, had my best year in February, which is, give or take 6 to 8 months. I was making over $20,000 a month, and the potential was much greater. I could have probably doubled that if I didn't have this little hiccup. So I mean, the money's there, and that's just diet pills. I've heard of guys making a lot more, so it's there. Money.
What have you heard? What's the maximum you've heard of people making? Come to that table next. Okay.
Maximums. I can't jump to conclusion, but I knew one guy who had diet pills who was making 30, 35 a month just on diet pills on one website. So, gives you an idea.
So, Rob, if I may, for a second, you said just earlier that you make enough to suit your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And now you've just said, I'm not making enough. This must...
That was just a smart answer. I do make enough. Yeah.
Rob, I didn't even realise that was funny. I'm sorry. I was trying to make a serious point. It must be a dilemma for a lot of people in the room, entrepreneurs in the room. We've already had one dilemma, which is it's far easier when you go down with your coffee in the morning to check out Facebook, etc., and then it's 11 o'clock. But another dilemma, apart from time and focus, has to be, well, how much do I keep going? How much do I really need to make? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, there is that. I mean, everyone gets to their own comfort level, and everyone in this game who's been doing it for a few years earns as much as they want to earn. Because you can earn, a lot of money doing this, and people work as much as they want and earn as much as they want. You can earn a lot of money doing it. And I'm at my comfort level, and I might make more, I might make less. It just depends what I want to do, basically. It's not like I'm trying, and it's not working. I'm doing as much as I need to make what I want.
So you're choosing?
Yeah, everyone is, yeah.
Right.
You make what you want.
Thank you. Enes, I'll come to you first. Your question is?
If you had to make one tip to our new affiliates, one motivation.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I'll repeat it, that's okay. If you had to make one tip, what would it be? Yeah? That's a brilliant question, because I was going to close with this, and we haven't got around all the tables, so this is fantastic. If you had to make just one motivational tip, just one, to the new affiliates in the room, what would it be?
Let me think a little bit.
Pardon? Sorry?
I think he's just done it with the 20,000 a month. Quite motivation.
That should motivate you. If that doesn't motivate you, I don't know.
Well, you can come up with another one. So, Enes, please, come on, Pacey. Enes one, then Rob, then Wojtek.
I never needed a motivation, If you want to make money, you need to work, that's all. Yeah. You don't need a motivation. You need to desire to make money. Yeah.
How about the Ferrari?
For example, if you are fat, you seek for diet pills, and if you are desperate for money, like me, if you are poor...
What about the Ferrari question?
Sorry? I'm having a hard time understanding English.
Sorry, the question is...
No, I would say, how about the Ferrari
Suppose if your Ferrari was a motivation, do you have that kind of motivation?
No, actually, I just want to make money.
Okay, Wojtek, you're from Chicago. I'm sure you... What do you drive?
Nothing right now, to be honest.
Nothing right now? This is really encouraging. It's been possessed, has it? It's in the pound.
I should say I have my own private driver and everything. No.
Okay, Wojtek, what's your number one tip for new affiliates in the room?
Like I said, what I've been doing, my big picture, so I've invested all my money back into the business. So right now my expenditures aren't Ferrari, big house or anything like that. Hopefully in the future it will. Right now it's being comfortable where I am, being able to pay off the bills I have, take care of the family, and putting my money where it needs to go. So 10 years from now, I can tell you I've got that Ferrari, I got that house, I can take care of my parents and go from there. And the motivation is, the motivation is 20,000 is nothing. There's markets out there that 250,000 a month. So if that doesn't motivate you, nothing else will, I guess. And if anyone here, I've started from, working, cleaning, construction, this and that. I'd rather work 40 hours behind the computer than work 10 hours doing construction anymore. Because at the end of the day, your health's the most important part. sitting on your butt may get you a little fat, but you go to the gym, but losing your health, you lose everything. So.
Wow, what an advert for IT. Your health's the most important thing, so 40 hours behind the computer. Are you a doctor? Because if you are, I'd love to... Fantastic. Rob, motivational, yeah?
Well,
tip.
I think the best thing about this job is the freedom and the flexibility it gives you. I mean, because the work itself can be a bit boring when you've been doing it a while. I mean, bits of it are exciting, but it's the lifestyle that the job gives you. And that's what you should be working for.
Who's a new affiliate at this table? First-time affiliate? Any first-time affiliates in the room? Yeah? So what would you like to ask the team? What would you like to ask about being a first-time affiliate? What's the biggest need that you need to know from these super affiliates? This table is problems. I'll say this table is trouble. No, nothing off the top of your head? Anything? No? Okay, I'll come back to you. Right, this table here. Well, who's going to ask the question here? Who's got a question here? Anyone? You've asked it, have you? I'm so sorry. We've done that any table I haven't come to.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, I asked you just now if you've got a question and you said Ferrari. Right, what's your question? Sorry.
That was fine.
All right.
Now, what I want to find out is, have you tested long reviews and short reviews, gone through a few and found which one is actually the best, or what's best for you in terms of conversions?
So have you tested long and short-term reviews? Which ones work best in terms of conversions? Thank you. We'll start with Rob. Well, you've got the microphone, Rob. You look keen.
I think it just depends on the product, you know. I mean, some products you really have to back it up, and there's a lot more promo material to use. But then there's some products that just sell themselves, and you don't really have to say much about them. But you really have to. It depends on the product. I don't know really. I might kind of keep my reviews kind of the same length, about 500 words or whatever. I don't know.
Ennis, what's your thought on reviews?
I think it's about keyword. For example, if you are getting traffic for Bioproactil Now or Bioproactil UK, you need to have short reviews or short article to send them immediately to merchant sites. But if you are having a general traffic or competitor brand, that's what I was doing, you know, they need to know product well, you know. For example, if you are getting traffic for product X and you are selling Proactil, you need to have something long to convince them.
And Wojtek, that, I know it's kind of cliche, isn't it? That the great thing about in this particular market, people can try things and test them and very quickly find if they're working, very quickly change it around. But Wojtek, what have you found in terms of the type of review and the success you've had in that?
Google says content is king. Google forgot one big word. Quality content is king. Content doesn't pull it anymore. Scraping doesn't cut it anymore. Even rewriting, to a certain extent, doesn't do it anymore. If it doesn't serve a purpose or give the customer or viewer something, bring them in, then it's just putting words on a website and just creating more fluff. That's about it.
Okay, thank
you.
So
if you're short review or long review, pretty much the answer is, if there's something important there, be it short or long, it doesn't matter, as long as it gives the customer what they're looking for.
Okay, so turning to the first-time affiliates in the room here today, each of you in the last 2 minutes, just in 30 seconds each, what's the first thing you'd do if you were a new affiliate setting up now? What's the first thing you'd do?
Meet people, ask questions. Not everyone's always open. No, they won't be. Not everyone wants to give their secrets, but you may run into a person that will give you a tip that may help you out. My success in the business is knowing or talking to people that do this, and I hope that'll be something I can get out of today, and I think that's what first-time affiliates should do.
Okay. Rob, a different question for you, slightly different question for you, from you, which is, you're up there, and I know that, you know, a lot of people keep secrets to themselves. What's your biggest secret that you found that will help that you can share with people in the room? not to do with, which I now know all about, and we've obviously got to not mention that because they're filming. But Rob, in terms of being an affiliate, I meant.
My biggest secret, I guess, is just volume, setting up lots and lots of different sites. And so, you know, if one of them goes down, then you don't feel it too much. I think the secret is having a large network, but you still have to maintain a certain level of quality. So you don't just chuck up a load of crap. You really have to have some good websites and just grow as quickly as you can.
And finally, Enes? Yes?
Everyone gets freaked out with the idea of, I'm not a programmer, I'm not a designer. Those are things you shouldn't worry about. Those are things that you can outsource. You just have to understand what your site needs. You need to be able to articulate it to your designer or programmer. And you can, for the most part, you can outsource things like that. That's something you shouldn't worry about. You should worry about SEO, content, keywords, what you're targeting, and you should understand your market as well. So if it's going to be a little overwhelming, but don't worry about programming design. That's something you give to professionals. That's their thing. That's their niche. You worry about organic, PPC. You worry about keyword. You worry about your product.
Thank you. And Enes, a number of people over coffee were saying to me, it's tough to keep going. It's tough to keep going. You have lulls, and you were talking about it yourself earlier on. What's the number one tip you give to people when they're just thinking, oh, maybe I should go and get a proper job? What's your number one tip?
Yeah, okay, my number one tip is get action as soon as possible for starters again, because I can teach something to only starters because I'm just starting. So it took me many months to start, and I regret it. It's a very bad decision. You need to go as soon as possible. You need to start a new site as soon as possible. It's not hard to do it. If you build a WordPress site in 10 minutes, if you are started, it takes 20 minutes. Write few reviews, few articles, start building links, and Sandis will help you doing that. He will teach you how to build links, and you'll understand how easy it is.
Thank you to Enes, Rob, and Wojtek. Thank you.